Okay, that looks good. Who's good? Potatoes Spin the Lake here, and it's time for a movie review of a 2016 or 17 movie from Quentin Tarantino. I believe it's his 8th film, Hateful 8. Now, this has an amazing cast. Of course, Samuel L. Jackson, Kurt Russell, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Walton Goggins? Dude, your name's weird, but I've seen you in a few things, and you've always been excellent. Damian Bashir. Not familiar with you. Tim Roth. Big time Tim Roth fan. Love him and everything he does. Michael Madsen and Bruce Dern. Now, this is a movie about basically multiple random, let's see, you got lawmen, some sort of cowboy, outlaws, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's just a big bounty hunter tale about a bunch of people killing each other, which is Tarantino's favorite thing. Not really the whole outlaw aspect, but a bunch of people locked in a tight space, killing each other. Look at Reservoir Dogs. Actually, this movie has a lot of similarities to it. And it's nice seeing Tarantino return to some of his earlier formulas, which a lot of the twists you could see coming if you saw his previous movies. I know I certainly did. Like, I'll put it this way. When Tim Roth appears in a Tarantino film, that means one thing. And if you have seen a few specific films, you know what I'm talking about. So, small example like that. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of cartoony violence. There's going to be a lot of very offensive and expansive dialogue. I've always loved Tarantino's dialogue, even though it takes up roughly 90% of the movie. Now, the movie is 90% of the movie is typically sitting around talking whenever Tarantino makes it, but the conversations are enjoyable. That's the big thing. And you can tell I'm wearing shorts. I'm about to go to bed. Like, literally, as soon as the video ends, shirt's off. But, yeah, no. Basically, 8 people are trapped in a cabin during a blizzard. Well, it's a haberdashery. 8 people are trapped in a haberdashery during a blizzard. They have to survive it, but can they survive each other? Blah, 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 blah. Now, this was a fun movie. It was interesting. It was gory in all the right ways. There were a few parts I didn't see coming. Not any of the twists. Just a story that Samuel L. Jackson tells. Didn't expect that. But, fucking hilarious. And, of course, with a cast like this, there's no room for poor acting. Everyone was fucking excellent. The chemistry between the characters, especially, like, the racial themes, because this was a bit after the Civil War. But I'm curious to see where it fits in his whole universe. I mean, if you're familiar with the Tarantino movies, you know that all of them are in the same universe. Characters in Pulp Fiction would be watching, like, From Dusk Till Dawn or Planet Terror. You got his dimension within his movies, and then the movie dimension within his movies. I'm curious to see which one of those this falls into, and if we're going to be seeing, like, a lot of past films. Then again, Tarantino releases are few and far between, so whenever they come out, you've typically been craving them for a long time. It always hits right on the mark. Now, because of the acting, dialogue, cinematography, I'm honestly probably going to be giving this a relatively high rating, not just because I'm a Tarantino fan, but because of how well executed this was. Although Tarantino does like to toot his own horn, and he relies mostly on his old tricks, which is all things we've done before, he presents it in new and interesting ways, but typically whenever you see a specific actor, you know what role they're going to be filling. Like, for example, if you see, like, of course, Tim Roth always has a specific role, but I'm going to go with something that's not spoilish. Michael Madsen. Anytime you see Michael Madsen in a Tarantino movie, he's usually a little bit bloodthirsty and psychotic, or complete total sociopath, or something like that. He's always got something kind of fucked in his head. That's just the way it goes. Yeah, no. Like I said, if you're ever wondering how this movie's going to go and you haven't seen it, just think Reservoir Dogs and go, kind of want to see that with cowboys. There was a lot more to the story than that, but I'm not going to ruin it for you guys. What I will tell you is, this movie was brutal, graphic in all the right places. It was just all around
a fun experience. I can't wait to rewatch it sometime next week. I might watch Reservoir Dogs tomorrow or something. Inglourious Bastards. I might go on a little Tarantino binge or something. I don't know. I got a fair amount of his movies. I could also watch the Scream franchise. There's maybe one or two movies that I borrowed like a week or so ago that I haven't watched. I might sit down and watch those. It all depends on what's going on. This movie, I don't want to give it 4 potatoes. I want to give it 3.5. I'll give it 3.5 potatoes. Like I said, a lot of the twists were recycled, but the movie was still entertaining enough to be presented in a new manner. A lot of the actors fill the same typical role in Tarantino's movies, so it gets a bit predictable. But that doesn't mean that they aren't fun to watch. A lot of the stuff in Tarantino films are going to be easy to call, a bit out there, and if you can't get past the long bouts of dialogue that are actually very entertaining once you stop and listen to them, you're just not going to make it through the movie in general. Honestly, this movie pretty much anyone can enjoy, even if they only slip in at certain bits. So it's going to get a little better than middle of the road, but at the same time, I don't want to give it a higher rating than what I've already given it, because, quite frankly, like I said, still up to his old tricks. Have you seen this movie? Are you planning on watching it? Either way, how do you feel about it? Post all that in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, keep on keeping on. I will see you in another video.